to Talking Parks with Friends. Today is March 15th, 2026. RyeGuy, how we doing, buddy?
Good, man. Good. How are you?
Oh my gosh, so good. So we have a very special show tonight. This is our first recap of a actual park going weekend. And not only were we at parks all weekend, we were at a park together this weekend.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so we got a lot to talk about. So first of all, I want to thank everybody who's already in the chat. Share the live with your friends. We really want to continue to grow this. We enjoy it. Keep the comments coming in the
Yeah.
in the in the live. We want to hear if you guys were in parks today. If you have any questions, please let us know. It's a very interactive show, but we're really glad that you all are here. So let's just kick right into it. You started
Okay.
off the weekend Thursday, right? You we off at Dollywood, so let's start there
Started
and then
Dollywood.
go through the rest of the weekend.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, we got two comments real quick because people said something. So Jake said, "When are we getting the pics from last night?" That's directed at you, Michael. So that might be a haunt.
Oh my gosh, the yeah, my videos from last night will be coming out. I'll probably drop one late tonight, and then I'll be dropping videos all week long. Now, my buddy who is in the chat as well, between the parks, he's the one that takes the pics. He's going to start editing the pictures, and he's going to get those out. I think he said he was going to try to get some out this week, but it takes a little while to edit those pictures. But I will. I have so much content. We'll talk about it later in the show. I have so much content from last night. I will get that out, but it'll be all week long. I have some incredible videos that I'm going to share from the haunt last night.
Yeah, you can. Brad is asking about that creepy Annabelle doll. We'll talk about the
Yeah,
Annabelle doll in a couple of minutes, Brad. We'll
for,
talk about that. David saying it was great to see you on Friday.
yep.
So,
David, friend that works there at Carowinds, awesome guy. Been there a long time. It was great to see you too, Dave.
okay. All right. Now we're going to dig in real quick. Thursday, I went to it's not just a pass holder day. So it was a
Yeah,
previews day at Dollywood. Now, what I can say about this is max value. Max value. Every ride was a walk on. I
yep.
think I waited 5 to 10 minutes for Big Bear. So Eugene got a lot of positive feedback. Eugene Naughton is the president of Dollywood, and he got a lot of positive feedback on Thursday in particular. So I think that's going to be something that's going to be going forward, where they're going to have like a low capacity preview day, because it
Right.
allows the machine to start working, it allows the food booths to start going, and it allows everybody to have a nice dry rehearsal. So
And you had to register. So regular season pass
yes.
holder, I know you got in through media, but season pass
Yep.
holder had to register to get on this. You couldn't just show up on
Yep.
Thursday, right? You had to get
Correct.
in, get approved. That way it kept the audience, the guests pretty
Small.
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 Yeah.
It was a good amount of people. It was raining that morning when we got there. We got into the park about 30 minutes ahead of everybody, so I could set up a camera to do some time lapse photography of the
Yeah.
intro for the segment that I'm doing on Fox. Very cool, very good event. Really, really enjoyed it. We stayed there till about 5:30, because the next day we had opening day. I knew that was going to be
Yeah.
intense, which it was. But Dollywood handles it extremely well to have that amount of crowd, and they don't have problems. Other parks, if they had that many people in there, might have some issues. It seems that Dolly's able to really have everybody kind of chill and peaceful. I didn't ever hear anybody cussing or screaming at each other. So there's a lot of respect, I think,
Yeah.
for park goers to each other there. Sometimes I don't always see it other parks, but they managed to hold it. Dolly was there, so she did come out. She hasn't publicly been seen since September last year. There was a lot of speculation about her health. Her husband, Carl, had passed away recently, and he had kind of a long fight with dementia before that. So that's tough on the caregiver. And Dolly
Yep.
was the caregiver to him. She did cancel her Las Vegas residency.
Yeah. So
So she did, yeah. So it was really nice to see her out there. She looked youthful. She got up on the stage with Eugene. The one thing I want to say is Eugene is becoming more and more media ready every time I see that dude. First time a year ago, he seemed a little bit shy. He
mm,
came out and Dolly does her thing, and Eugene was playing the second man. But I have really seen this dude really embracing the media. I think it's
yeah.
all the interviews he's been doing lately, but he's killing it. He has such a good rapport with the guests and the media people, and it shows. And he was funny up on stage with Dolly. Did you see it? Did you see the
Yeah,
Q
I
and A?
watched it live. I watched it live. Dollywood posted it on their social media channels live. It was a
Yeah,
lot of fun. You're right. I think Eugene does a great job up there. Dolly, you could definitely tell Dolly was health was still an issue. She was, you know, she sat down immediately after getting there. Eugene was watching her closely, but personality wise, man, Dolly was
yeah,
there.
funny.
She's always funny, but she was
Yeah,
incredibly witty
yeah,
on
yeah.
Friday. She was cutting
The
up pretty
hair.
good. Oh,
I loved the hair thing. The hair thing was hilarious, and
she,
Eugene kept going with it, which I really liked. You
yeah.
saw it lasted about 30 minutes. After that, they kind of sequestered us off to lunch. We had, a nice buffet like they usually do. They ended up giving us the media swag for this party was blankets,
Oh, I could use
travel
it.
blankets.
I could have used another blanket.
Uh, After that, we went off to do another construction tour, an exterior construction tour
Yep.
of Night Flight Expedition. And this is something interesting. The last time you and I talked, I stressed that Eugene said he had till June 15th, right?
Yep. And the spring.
This time, this time the date changed to June 20th. So let's keep that in mind. A lot of people were speculating. My good
It,
buddy Ryan from Adventures Out There thinks
yeah.
Memorial Day time frame. Um,
Yeah.
I do, personally, miracles happen. They happen every
Well,
day.
I don't.
Um,
I wouldn't call it a miracle what they're doing. They're investing an incredible amount of time and effort to get this thing up and running. They want it up. I saw from your
but by
from
Memorial Day would be like almost a miracle. Like,
yeah.
I
I
mean, that's a lot of work.
it doesn't to me. I don't think the spring thing matters. I don't think a date in
Okay.
particular matters. When this thing is ready, it'll be open, and it will not be open before then.
Hmm.
They will make
Yeah.
sure that it is running perfectly, that it is going to do what it's
Yep.
supposed to do. And if that means pushing it back a little bit, I know they will. Um, but they are very excited and anxious to get
Yes.
this open. And they
As
should
they
be.
should be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's a big deal.
This is going to be the talk of this year, I think. This is going
Oh,
to be the ride of this year, you
there's no
know?
doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. And it's such a big ride, and it's going to have a huge impact on the industry. I know they want to
Yeah.
do it, but they want to do it right, and I'm sure they're going to
Yep.
take their time to get it out there.
So we tried to narrow in on how is the hill? What is that going to
Yeah.
be? The descent? How many feet are we going to be talking? The most we could get out of Eugene was Pirates of the Caribbean is only a 5 foot drop. I never knew that. Did you know that?
No, I don't know what. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not much. It's not
Yeah.
much, but it's
No.
it's
It,
fun.
it's fun and it feels like more because you're in the darkness. And this is the
Yeah,
clue. I think when you do the drop on night flight, I think you're going to be in darkness. I think it's going to be a little bit of a surprise drop.
yeah.
So to keep with that coaster element.
Well, it's definitely multiple stories. So we're gonna
Yeah.
get a drop, but we're not necessarily, we're not getting a Fury drop. That's for sure. But
No,
man, I'm
Fury
ready, buddy.
drop.
I'm ready, buddy. I'm
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah. Yeah. So outside of that, we did manage to squeeze in a round of mini golf over at Ripley's Old McDonald Farm and Mini Golf.
Okay.
You need to go there. I
Yeah.
mean, you love animatronics just like I do. The
Yeah.
whole thing is animatronics, dude.
Okay.
It's awesome. Yeah, so it's I know it's 24.99, which is can be a little
Yeah.
bit pricey for families, but if you really are into animatronics and you do like mini golf, I highly recommend checking out the old McDonald's. It's in Seaverville. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
saying it right, right?
I don't
Okay,
know. You know what?
yeah.
Gatlinburg, Pigeonburg, Searville, they're all it's it's that area. They're all in that same area. As long as if
Yeah,
it's within 20 minutes of Dollywood, then it's part of Pigeon Forge area. That's all I care about. So it feels all,
yeah,
especially that area, it feels so close. I don't know why it's separate, but that's good. Anything else
yeah,
from
yeah.
the trip
No, that was
there?
the Dollywood experience. That was
Yeah.
there, and then woke up Saturday morning, and we drove to Carowinds. That was an
Yes.
interesting drive.
Yeah.
Interesting drive. You can still see all the damage that happened that came through the Asheville area. The roads just being kind of wiped out. So at points in the drive, you're doing about 30 behind an 18 wheeler because you're
Yeah.
coming down the mountain. So they got to be
Where
careful because of the brakes.
Yeah, I-40 is, man, that you can still see it in spots where that
Mm.
hurricane just took a beating on the road. I mean, that has affected my drive to Dollywood ever since. We didn't have that road for 6, 8 months after the hurricane, and then they finally got it where you could drive on it somewhat, but it's still a tough ride.
Yeah.
All right, so then
We showed up at Carowinds.
yeah, well let me
Met
take over
you.
on
Yeah.
Friday. Yeah, let me take
Okay.
over on Friday,
Okay.
so then we can meet on Saturday. So on Friday, while you
Okay.
were while you were hobnobbing with Dolly, I went to Carowinds season pass holder preview day, which was from 4 to 10 at Carowinds, and had an absolute blast. Very low crowds. There was no limit on ours, but it was a Friday. It was decent weather, but it wasn't as nice as it was going to be the rest of the weekend. But we were in there from 4 to 10, just season pass holders. The park was fully open. And in addition to, getting to experience the park, we also had two Q&A sessions with park leadership,
Mm.
kind of talked about, kind of our version without having an icon like Dolly, but very similar. Talked about what was in store for this year, kind of a little bit of a recap from last year about what we saw, what came, what additions came through the year, but also talking about what we have in store for 2026.
Where did they
And
do this at? Was it in
in
the
the
theater?
in the Carowinds Theater. Yep. We had
Okay.
a 6 o'clock show and an 8 o'clock show, about a half an hour
Hmm.
long. It was the park
Okay.
president who led the conversation with the PR team, but then the heads of each department, maintenance, entertainment, rides,
Mm.
and
Mm.
the merchandise. Each of them did a little bit of presentation about what was happening, what was coming, and it was really good. It was really interesting. Of course, they did a little bit of a teaser for 2027. We know there's
Okay.
something in the
Okay. What is it?
woods. We don't know.
What is
It's
it?
something
Okay.
in the woods.
We gotta find out. We gotta. Is it
Some
gonna be a water ride?
that's what we're thinking. That's what we're thinking.
Okay.
So, but something in the
Log
woods. A
flume.
little tweet. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know. They're just
Something in the
teasing right
woods.
now. What's in the woods? What's in
Okay.
the woods?
Okay.
Mrs. Mary Mack says, "I hope it's a water ride." Well, I think you might be.
Oh.
I think you might be happy. So, but it's a big attraction. It's a big attraction. They're
Okay.
gonna they're gonna spend a lot of time this year kind of hyping it up. I'm hearing they're gonna do
Nice.
some interesting things to promote it. So
Okay.
I'm excited. And then we'll probably get a
I'm excited.
formal yeah, we'll probably get our formal announcement late in the year, like we normally do,
Okay.
sometime late summer, August when they usually do. But that's very exciting. Also,
Construction tour? Do you think
they
we're gonna get a construction tour?
well, when construction starts, we're not in
Okay.
construction yet, so we don't have that going for us. We had the
Okay.
land clearing last year. They cleared the entire area where this attraction is going to go, but they haven't started with any kind of construction. So at some point, I'm sure we will. And then they also a little bit of a teaser for Scarewinds. They
Okay.
dropped a little hint
Okay.
that there'll be a new maze in in 2026,
Mm.
which was exciting. No details, no details, but
Okay.
we know something new's coming. And then just talked about they've done a lot of infrastructure type things. Nothing, it's nothing, nothing significantly that changes. No new ride, nothing like that. No new kind of attraction. So, but it is some stuff that really needed to happen. They took a couple of the stores and they gutted them. They're redoing them. The big store in the front, they're it's not open yet, but they're redoing the entire thing. They took one of the smaller stores in the back and they redid it, new decor, new theming, everything. The big restaurant, Harmony Hall, they did a lot of work in there to just kind of improve the quality. So a lot of stuff, not the fun stuff, but the stuff that has to happen for a park to be
Housekeeping.
successful. Yeah, for sure.
Housekeeping.
But stuff that
Yeah,
pays off
absolutely.
over the years. So, all right, and
And
then
the park looks great.
there's a question in the chat. How did the fast
Okay.
lane on the phones work? Did it work the whole or
Mm.
majority of the time? So we did have a change for this year. We used to have wristbands if you had the Fastlane, and now it's moved to an app. I'll tell you, it worked perfectly fine for me. It
That's
took a
good.
little bit of getting used to. You have to log into your
Mm.
Carowinds app. You click through. It takes you basically to another website where you have to put your season pass number. Once you put your season pass number in, found it very easy to use. Had no problems with it when I was in the park. I used it over Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I used it a couple dozen times. Um, I didn't have any problem with it. So for me, it was perfectly fine. Now, there's a couple things that people are concerned about, and one of them is in the comments about, hey, my kids have fast lane, but they don't have a phone. I, I I can't answer for the park. I know if you're with someone that does have a phone, you can put multiple people on one pass or on one app, so you can have, if there's one person with the phone, they can have multiple people that can also have the fast lane. Um, However, if there's someone that doesn't have a phone at all, there's some guests that even adults that don't like to carry their phone around all day. Sometimes they put it in a locker. They don't want to lose it on a ride. So there are
Mm.
multiple things there. The only other problem that I had with it, the only problem I had with it myself was just I use my phone a lot. Now using this, I had to bring a
Mm.
charger along. I had to use that portable
Mm.
charger because if my phone goes dead now, I can't use my fast lane anymore, and that's a problem for me. But the functionality of the app worked really well. I thought it was very easy. So there's two. If you have the all season fast lane, you basically have one version of the fast lane. They also sell another daily version, and the differences
Mm.
is there's an ultimate version, which just basically means you get to the ride, you're basically getting on. You're skipping the line
Mm.
almost entirely. The other option you can purchase, it's called reserve. So it's a little cheaper than the other option,
Mm.
is where you are still waiting, but you're not waiting in line. So if you go up to a ride or you want to ride Fury and it has a 30-minute wait, you're still waiting 30 minutes. You're just not waiting in
Mm.
line. You pick through on the app, it gives you a time to return. It'll have a little countdown. When your time comes up, you come back with your phone that has a little code on it. They scan it and you're on your ride. So it does give you a
It's
couple
like Disney.
options. Yeah, it's a couple options,
Yeah, it's like Disney.
and but
It's
for
good.
me, it did work, and I had no problems with it. Except for the ones that we kind of talked about, just the you know logistical pieces of it. But the app itself worked great. I had no problem while in the park. And habit, right? I'm not used to using the app. So there was multiple times I got in line for the ride and I was like, oh my gosh, I got to use the app. I pulled up the thing real
Mm.
quick. By the time I get to the front, I already had my little QR code to go ahead and get on the ride.
Yeah.
So that was Friday. We had a great time. Got some rides in, got to see the park. But the highlight of the weekend was Saturday. And that was because
We came
we had a
down
special
Saturday.
guest. Yeah,
Yeah, it was a bunch of special guests. We
for
had
sure.
Coaster Therapy was there. We got to meet her and her son. Very nice people.
Yep.
Dustin was there. So saw Dustin again. That was really cool. Cowboy Casanova. I'm saying that
Hey,
right,
Coaster
right?
Therapy. Hey, Jen. We see you.
Yep. See,
Good to see you.
see, Jen was there. So, yeah, it was. I mean, that's my favorite. Going to a theme park with a group of people is
Yeah.
like one of my favorite things on planet Earth. I love it. You know, that's why I'm always trying to rope people into going to HHN because I want to go in like a 15 or a 20 person group.
Yeah.
And the same thing with parks. So it was awesome. We got a You were there, and then we met up with Chris, and then we got to go on a ride that I have
Yep.
never been on before. And I have to say that that ride probably makes my top five, definitely my top 10 rides in the
Yeah.
country.
So Copperhead Strike is the ride in
Yep.
question. So we'll
Yeah.
share for anyone new to this kind of talking our show. Anyone new to our show, Ryan is let's say height challenged, little
Yes.
dealing with trying to overcome an
Yes.
a kind of fear of heights, right? But you are
Yes.
you're
Fear heights.
stepping it up, right? You're trying like so
Ratcheting it up.
we already joked a little bit about Fury. You have a goal of eventually getting over it so you can ride
Yes.
Fury. But so roller
Yes.
coasters have been something you've been stepping up to do. Um,
Yeah.
so Copperhead is not a very tall ride, but it's
No.
got some height to it in the little spots here and there.
Little spot.
There
It's
we go,
more the
Brad.
thrilling. What is
Yeah,
Brad saying?
Brad said
Oh,
exactly why I don't do Fury or Thunderstriker. So I get it.
yeah.
That's so Thunderstriker's the kind of next step up, right? So we got
Yeah. That's what
we
we're
got
doing. Yeah.
Copperhead, then we do
Yep.
Thunderstriker, and then
Yep. Then we
eventually
do
Fury.
Fury.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I have to do Fury. I already know it. I have to. But I want to do it with a group of people because I'm going to be terrified. So I want mass amounts of people if we can. So eventually we'll do Fury. But I loved Copperhead Strike. I literally thought I was going to fall out of it on the JoJo roll, which is one of the most terrifying things I have ever felt on a roller coaster because this is my first time not doing the over the shoulder restraints with any kind of inversion.
Yeah.
And the JoJo roll is crazy. You are going so slow into the full aversion. It's so wild, man.
There's a
Um,
lot of hanging air time on that ride,
yeah,
not just the JoJo roll, that big first loop. You
yeah.
barely, it feels like you barely get over it. You're hanging at the top.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
but it's a fun ride. It's a fun ride. And it was
Oh
running
yeah.
incredibly well. It was running incredibly well. Yeah, Tori, great ride, one of my favorites. Absolutely. It was
Great ride.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a great addition
Yeah.
to the park. I've always said, Carowinds has an incredible top four. We have a really strong with Thunderstriker, Fury, Afterburn, and then Copperhead Strike. We have a really strong top four. We've got some work to do in the kind of that middle section, but man, our top four, you can put them up
Mm,
against about any coaster four at any park, and I'll say Carowinds is going to be up there. Um,
yeah.
um, Noah said to get him to ride in the very back to get over his fear. Yeah, we're working on it. I'll tell you about this. I've been going to parks now with Ryan for over a year. He's not
Yep.
letting it stop him. It takes time, right? It takes time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gotta work up to it, and we'll get there. I have no fear. I have no fear that we'll get there eventually. But we
Yeah.
got on
Yeah.
Copperhead. That was fun.
Yeah. It was
Um,
awesome. It was awesome.
we got we got a couple laps of the park. You already mentioned it. We saw a ton of people. We had Dustin from Carowinds
Yeah. A ton of
Fans
people.
Only.
Yeah. Dawn
We
was
said
there.
Jen from Coaster Therapy, Dawn and Tyler from Just Out and About.
Yeah.
We had Chris from Cowboy Casanova. Man, we
Yep.
had a ton of people that we were hanging out
It was
with.
awesome.
Park was really busy. The temperature
Yeah.
was perfect. Absolutely
Yeah.
perfect. 75, sunny. I got a sunburn. I can feel it
Oh, me
today on my
too.
face. I can feel
Yeah.
it. Um,
Yeah. My
but it was a
nose was peeling this morning.
it's a it was a beautiful day. Yeah, Dave said he was there but behind the scenes. Well, Dave, thank you so much for helping run the park because
Yes.
this is I was gonna save this for later, but I'll just throw it out now. This opening weekend for Carowinds was the best opening weekend I've ever been a part of. And I would scream it from the rooftops. I can't tell you, like, when they take a park and it's been closed, even though it's only a couple months, it takes a lot of time to get
Right.
it going, to get things running, to get things back. And I thought the park was running amazingly well. There was very few hiccups. The rides were going, like, we had the major rides that Fury, I didn't see Fury go down all weekend. I didn't see Thunderstriker
Mm.
go down all weekend. There was a couple little rides here and there. Ricochet went down a little bit, but man, all the major rides were running, and they were running. This is huge. Fury and Thunderstriker were running three
Yeah.
trains for opening weekend.
Yeah.
Never, ever, ever, ever has that happened. Never has that happened. This is something that the park continuously, they would start with two to get started, and they, because they're still working on the trains, they're still getting things kind of moving. For this to happen like this, to have them all running, have it run well, no downtime. Like, I thought the park was running incredibly well, incredibly well. Yeah, Coaster Therapy. It was a solid opening weekend. Carowinds had the most hyped up riders I've ever seen. People were just excited to be back in the park. I'm excited to be back in the park.
Yeah.
Um,
It
Dave
was
said in the
fantastic.
Dave said in the comments, this was the best opening weekend he thinks he ever had. Spiky, I plan to go this next weekend. Looking forward to it. Well, Spiky, I will be there, so please stop by and say hello. But it was a great weekend. And then, it was a busy Saturday. I don't love Saturdays in
Yeah.
the park when they're busy, but it was fun hanging out with y'all. We had a great time. Yeah, Brad said wait times I saw were insane on Saturday. What we almost went and did Gold Rusher, the oldest
We
ride in the
wanted to.
park, and it was an
Yeah.
hour to an hour and a half wait, which is
Yeah.
just insane. But had a good time. It was a nice day in the park, and it was awesome hanging out with you. And then as we were wrapping up the day, I had a special delivery from RyeGuy, straight from
Oh,
Dollywood, cinnamon bread delivered to my car. It's
yeah.
I've had a couple pieces already. It's still downstairs. I think I'm gonna have a little snack right after this live. So
Nice, man.
um,
I just ate some right before the live.
well,
So,
I got home just a
yeah.
little bit ago. I had time to kind of change out of my wet clothes because it got very wet at the end of the day. We had another nice day for half the day, and then it started pouring today, and I got wet. So I came home, changed, and I saw the cinnamon bread, and I was like, I'm gonna get you after the live. So
Yeah. I
Jen, we
mean,
talked
the
to we
cinnamon
talked
bread
to
is the best.
yeah, for sure. Jen, we talked a little bit about Fastlane Ultimate earlier in the show, so I don't want to rehash that. I'll just say that I thought it went really well. I had very little problems with it. It caused no problems for me personally. The app worked well. Everything went well, so I had no problems, and it worked almost as well as the old wristbands for me personally. So,
Yes.
what
I
else
want to say that the
Saturday?
park is super clean. The park is super,
Yeah,
super clean. Like, Carowinds really, really does a good job with details and cleanliness.
yeah,
Sometimes some parks you go to the bathrooms and it's a whole nother like
yeah,
haunted house almost. And Carowinds is really on top of that. The management is really good. They were on
yeah,
top of it. The wait times will be what they are because it's
yeah,
opening weekend and amazing weather,
yeah,
but it wasn't overcrowded feeling. It wasn't like all your walkways are so jammed that you're chest to chest. Now, other parks, that happens on opening day, and it's an intense feeling. So going to Carowinds and maybe you don't get to do all the rides you want. If you had a fast lane, you're good though, dude. And the value on the fast lane is incredible. It's like 500 for all parks for the season, right? It's one park.
I lost you there for a second. Sorry, Ryan.
So no problem. I was saying the all season pass for the fast lane, all parks, is what, 500?
Yes, $500. Correct.
Yeah, that's a massive value. And
Yeah.
if what's like 41 parks, does it work at the water parks?
No, does not work at the water parks.
Okay.
They a few years back they tried Hey Adventures with the guys. They tried it at the water parks at some point. It just didn't work. So no, it's not at the water parks, but
Okay.
it's at all the
Okay.
dry parks. I think it's an incredible value. I have
Yeah.
it. I couldn't imagine it. Back to the park and the cleanliness. We've got a couple
Yeah.
comments about how cleanly it was, but also the employees. And I agree. Tori said here, yes, the park was so clean and the employees were very helpful. I couldn't agree more. Um,
Yeah.
they talked about it in the season pass holder Q&A that we mentioned earlier in the show about, hey, the manager of the park kind of said, hey, a lot of these people first time working in the park, they're learning the ropes, and you see a little bit of that the first weekend or two, not fully understanding exactly all the policies and how things work. But man, they were trying hard. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't come across any employee that wasn't trying to go above and beyond. I thought they did an incredible job. I had no problems. And again, like even the coasters, they were running for people doing it for the first or second time. They were moving them. They were
Yeah.
they were they were moving stuff and trying to do everything they can. So I thought it was again. I can't imagine it going much smoother than it went this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Miss Mary Mack said it was my first job too. Yeah, it's a lot of first jobs for a lot of people, and it's a good one. It's a fun one if you enjoy it. Tori, I was super impressed with the ride outs. There was a time I was on Fury. I guess it was it today? Yeah, today. I was on Fury today, and they was a minimal staff, and this happens a lot early in the season. They're still hiring people. Um, there's a there's some regulations about because they are seasonal jobs. If it is part-time employees, some people that worked in December have to wait a certain time till they can come back.
Mm.
So it takes a little while to get ramped up and get fully staffed. So we don't have the staff today that we'll have, come spring break or come summer. But on Fury, there was the control operator in the booth, and there was two people checking, one on each side, which normally they
Mm.
have four. So there was two. They were running three trains, and they did not stack
Mm.
that train once while I was there. Now, stacking the
Mm.
train is, where you're in the station, another train finishes, and it comes up behind.
Mm-hmm.
There have been times I've seen on Fury all three trains waiting at the station. I didn't see once when I was waiting for that ride that they even got this one of the trains back before they got the other one out. They were killing it. Um, that's impressive. And it wasn't much of a wait. Like
Yeah.
we're not talking about it was a crazy busy. They were moving people, because they know
Mm.
people want to get on as many rides and get through it as they can. It was awesome.
Yeah. Carowinds is, if you haven't been to Carowinds yet, if you're watching this right now, later, once Michael posts it, I
Yeah.
highly recommend Carowinds. I'm from the DC area. I drive past, on my ride home last night, I drove by King's Dominion. So say what you will.
Yeah.
I love King's Dominion. I grew up going to King's Dominion. I love Busch Gardens. I grew up going to Busch Gardens. I mean, 10-year-old Ryan, who had no fear of coasters, who would ride Loch Ness 40 times in a row, and Drakenfire and all these great rides, or
Yeah.
the Anaconda and the Shockwave and Grizzly and what used to be called Rebel Yell, now Racer 75. I rode all those rides. But sometimes you can see in the little details, and cleanliness is a big detail, because if they care about keeping the park clean, that's when you're going to have rides running smoothly,
Yeah.
because they're thinking about the little things that build up to the bigger picture.
Yeah.
So I really like Carowinds. I've only been twice now, so
Yeah.
I'm so excited for the Halloween event that they do.
Yeah.
Scarewinds. I'm
Yes.
super excited for that.
I'm super excited to go with you, my friend. Um, I, I'll just say about Carowinds, it all starts with having the right people in place. We talked about the employees, and I think highly of the folks that make the park run. The park leadership is really strong right now. They have some really great folks that are you can count me out of Scarowinds adventure with the guys.
Why?
I'm a haunt. Some people don't like scary. Hey, some people don't like heights. Some people don't
Okay.
like scary.
I don't like
I
height.
like I
Heights
like
is
both.
scary.
I like both.
Of
You know
course you
me.
do.
um, but like the park leadership right now is doing a great job. Brian, the park manager, he's been there for a number of years. He's been in this role now for 2 years. He is really passionate about making the park. The thing I love is like, and this weekend I saw him over and over. He was just walking around the park, doing
Hmm.
laps constantly. He wanted to see how things were running, talking to guests, walking around. He stopped and chatted with me a couple times. The first I saw him on Friday. I'm not even in the park an hour. And he saw me and he came over and he asked how the fast lane ultimate was working. Like, because he cares. And I love that. We met at the Q&A. They had the leadership for each of those departments just talking about. I saw them throughout the park. That's huge. And I know it's opening weekend, but this goes all season long. And if they care, that feeds down to all the employees. When park management just sits in an office and looks at the numbers and doesn't walk around the park, that's when things fall through the cracks. They're constantly walking through the park and making sure everything is running great, and it pays off.
Adventures with Guys, that's Eugene Naughton, the president of Dollywood. That dude is an ace. He's really, really, he's not in ace. He is an ace himself, but he is awesome. So yeah, he's
Yeah,
another president. You'll see him picking up trash.
yeah,
So that's the kind of dude you want running your park, who
yeah.
doesn't think he's above picking up trash. And he really cares about the experience of the guest. I mean, he showed off their new bathrooms to us when we did our construction tour. Now, some people, it's not glamour and glitz, but guess what? You need bathrooms when you're hitting
Yeah.
capacity,
I so there's some comments in the chat, and I want to talk about it real quick because I have a very passionate feeling on this conversation. So we were talking about Scarewinds a minute ago, and the question came
Yep.
up about why you didn't go to Scarewinds. Well, someone put in the comments, I didn't like the fact that they wanted to charge you for the regular mazes last year. You are totally, on this show, in life, meeting with us, you are totally allowed to have your opinion. I'm never going to change your opinion, not try to change your opinion. Your opinion is fine. I'm just going to share my opinion, and that is, first of all, the charge for the houses was minimal, $10 to $15 to get into the houses when you were coming. You could buy for $70. You could buy an all season. So this is the reason why I like it, and I like it because since I've been going to Carowinds for 20 years, the price of a season pass today is the same as the price of the season pass 20 years ago. Okay.
Wow.
To do that, that means you're going to have to do different things. So, in my opinion, if they're not going to do things like charge you for the houses, then that means they're going to raise the price of the season pass. And not only is it the same price as it was 20 years ago, I got this year the pass that includes every dang park in the chain. So I got a better value today than I did in 2005 for the same amount of money. Now, again, that doesn't work economically, so you're going to have to then charge for other things. I personally think that charging for something like mazes is the way to do it because not everyone wants to do mazes. Now, I do
Mhm.
think, and I'll say this, last year they could have handled it better. They had season passes already sold and then they announced it. I like when they're open and honest from the very beginning, and I think that makes a difference, right? I think that makes a huge difference, and I wish they would have handled that differently. And in talking to some of the leadership at the park, they feel the same way today. They wish they would have handled it differently. So, I really, I want the park to be successful. I want us to have a lot of financial success in the park because if the park is
Mm.
financially successful, that
Absolutely.
means that means we get new rides. So I do
Yes.
hear your point. I understand it can be challenging, but what I'm afraid of is if we don't do things like that, they're just going to raise the season pass up and up and up. and that's gonna have an impact. Now, they got to be very open, honest, be fair. Don't change the rules on you mid-year. I totally get that, and I appreciate that. But I think ultimately charging for the passes, charging for that, it works out in the long run instead of bumping up the cost of everything else. So just wanted to say that piece. It's just my opinion. Again, everyone is totally entitled to their own opinion. Um, we don't know what they're doing for sure this year. There's been, we're assuming they're going to do the same thing, and we'll talk about that once everything comes out. I can tell you, so there's some talk about Conjuring, which is our premier attraction. I do think we're going to get, there was, about the wait and how long it took. I do think we're going to get this year basically a virtual line. I know there's something with a virtual line coming for spring break. Um, so that would be really great. It was a great house. It was fantastic. And I loved it for that year. All right, back to the regularly scheduled program.
There's a
So,
schedule.
well, let me wrap up. We had a great day Saturday.
Yes.
I want to spend a few minutes talking about my Saturday night
Okay.
because not Carowinds or Dollywood. So I left the park on Saturday and drove a couple hours out to Bishopville, South Carolina, to a haunt out
Okay.
there called Creepy Hollow. Creepy
Okay.
Hollow is near where my daughter goes to school. She did
Okay.
Creepy Hollow 2 years ago as part of like a kind of school trip. She lives on a campus. They do
Okay.
trips to different places. So they went. She told me it was incredible, that I needed to put it on my
Nice.
list. So last year I went. I filmed it. It was one of the coolest haunt experiences I've had in a long time. It literally is in the middle of nowhere. I had very low expectations, and I walked in and was blown away. Um, there is a bunch of videos I posted, one of them being this bus ride that you go on at the beginning, which is
Oh, I remember that.
incredible.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking a bus to a haunted house, and let's just say some stuff happens. Um,
Yeah.
and it was awesome. And then they have their traditional haunted house, and then to get back to the starting point, you take a haunted hayride, and that hayride has 6 different stops on the way.
Oh,
You
that's
get
awesome.
everything from Halloween to Exorcist to some crazy
Mm.
clowns, some witches. You get a little bit different at each station that you stop on the way back. Um, so I had the opportunity to go last night as part of a St. Patrick's Day haunt last weekend and this weekend, and I had a chance to film, and it was awesome. It was awesome. Just a lot of fun. It's laid out really interesting. The theming is super cool. They have a good mix of animatronics and of
Mm.
live characters that do a great job. But also, getting the opportunity to go film. I had the opportunity to see some behind the scenes stuff that was really awesome. We talked about the respect I have for people that work in parks. This goes even more so to people in haunts. It is a tough job to work in a haunt, but it is something that is a ton of fun. Like it's really enjoyable. I did it. I loved it. But it's hard work. It is hard work to constantly, be on your toes to scare people, and the effort that goes into it. You have to love the industry, to do that job. And they were killing it last night. I will have videos all week long from my experience. They did that creepy leprechaun. I hope was there. There was creepy leprechaun for sure. The St. Patty's Day theming was kind of it was light, but on purpose. There was in the bus ride. There was some St. Patty's Day. There was a little bit of Irish music in the bus. There was
Nice.
there was
Nice.
some characters that were in there. In the queue line, there was a lot of
No
it. But
river dance?
no,
No river dance?
no,
No
no.
river dance? All
The
right.
rest
All
of the
right.
house was pretty much the same, but it was a lot of fun. I am all for
Okay.
extending out haunt season to year round,
Yes.
year
Yes.
round, and that's why we're getting
Yes.
Conjuring Beyond Fear for spring break at Carowinds. So that's a lot of fun. It doesn't. doesn't have to be constant, but these little one-off events and have the houses open, I love it. And I had a great time last night, and I cannot wait to share this footage with y'all. I got some great stuff, really great stuff. So start looking for it late tonight into
Hmm.
tomorrow. It's gonna be a lot of fun stuff. I've already posted some of my Carowin stuff. I got more of that coming. Uh, do we know when you'll
Good.
be on Fox talking about your trip?
Yeah, Thursday.
Nice.
Thursday night, you can tune in to Fox 5 DC WTTG Live Zone Prime Time, available on Tubi, your Fox
Mm,
local app, and on YouTube,
yeah.
streaming on all platforms. So
I
I'll be talking
watched
about Dolly. You watched, right?
yeah, I've watched them Tubi, but if you log in through the Fox 5, right, you can actually chat and be part
Hmm.
of the
Yeah.
conversation, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, that's
So,
on the other show. So I'll do that show first.
okay,
That's Do
gotcha.
You Like It or Not Live. The
Yep.
second show that you watch, you can drop comments.
Yep.
So we do look at the comments and sometimes we'll respond. But the first show, yeah, if you want to zoom in or something on the first show, that's at 7:30. It's called Do You Like It or Not? I co-host that, and it's just a blast. I don't have to prepare a segment or anything. Just
Yep.
go on and give hot takes. So please, if you want to join us and give some hot takes, we like it. But
Yeah.
yeah, Thursday night I'll do my segments, and I'm gonna just be singing the praises of both parks. I also be singing the praises of Universal because I'll be doing a segment on Mardi Gras.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm really excited about the season starting next weekend. We've got the opening for King's Dominion, and
Yep.
then are you coming up on the 28th? Do you think?
I don't know what my plans are at this point. I want to get up to King's Dominion, but I don't know when that's going to be. That's really the next
Okay.
few days is going to be figuring out exactly what I'm going to be doing. Spring break falls opposite week for King's Dominion and Carowinds, so I definitely want to make that trip. But I also want to get down to Six Flags over Georgia during
Mm.
my spring break. So I got a lot of trips I got to kind of map out, but I have some free time and I want to do that. So
You do.
I want to make sure that
You
I
do.
cover that. So I'll let you know as soon as I do. But I definitely will be doing Six Flags over Georgia, and I'll definitely be doing Kings Dominion here in the next couple weeks. Both of them are 4 to 5 hours from the house. Um, I can definitely make it to both in a day trip.
Yeah. And
So
look, Spikey says they went and saw the river dance. They were just in Charlotte, and he said it was cool. Yeah.
yeah,
Michael
this
and I are going to start river dancing.
no, we are not. We are not going to do
Oh,
that.
miracles happen, Michael. Miracles
Yeah.
happen.
Okay. Well, I tell you what. We'll get you on Fury first, then we'll talk about Riverdance. How's
River
that?
dancing? Oh, I
Yeah.
like that. I
I'll
like it a
do a
lot.
I'll do a little Irish jig in the middle of the park
Nice.
once you
People want to
ride
see that.
Fury. Yeah, no, they
People want
don't.
to see that. That might go
No, they.
viral. That might go viral.
It might go viral, but for the wrong reason.
All right. So
Yeah.
what's coming up for you besides going to Carowinds every day?
Uh,
What's coming
so
up?
Well, I got to. Oh, you got to tell how you won
Yeah.
saw on the video.
Yes, the
Let's
doll
talk about
story.
that. Then
Yes.
we'll talk about what's coming up. So, as part of season pass preview, pass holder day, they did these Q&As, and the Q&As were just kind of promoted as an opportunity to share details. And during the middle of it was kind of a surprise. We didn't know that they were doing a giveaway. So during the middle of the pass holder, Q&A, they said, "Hey, we're doing Conjuring Beyond Fear for Scream Break, which is April 3rd through the 11th. They're going to have it open from 2 o'clock on. First time they've ever had a haunted
Wow.
house open outside of
So
Halloween.
excited.
So this is awesome. I love it. So to kind of
Yes.
promote it, they did a giveaway for an Annabelle doll, and there was
Full
basically,
size.
yeah, basically, I'll show you in 1 second. She's actually
Yeah.
watching. She's watching our podcast right now.
Oh.
Um, she was there was a post-it note that was put under a random chair. So halfway through the show, they said to check under your chair. I looked down, and there's a post-it note, and hold on.
Surprise! It's a creepy doll.
And
This thing's awesome. Look at this. Ridiculous. Look, it's like he needed more merch.
I
You
know.
know?
And
No, the
here,
thing is sick, dude.
I mean, I'm on a
So cool.
chair, but I mean, still, this is huge.
It's massive.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
massive.
So,
So are you going
and
to ever take it out of the box, or is it
I
going to
don't,
always be in the box?
I don't know what I'm gonna do with it just yet.
Okay.
She's creepy as hell, man.
Yeah.
She,
Yes. Yes, she is.
so, I don't know what I'm
Yeah,
gonna do
Austin, that
with
is
it.
cool.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with
Uh,
it yet. But it was really fun. I'll tell you what.
it
I
says do
wish
not open, Brad says.
I wish I had this. Yeah, Miss Mary Mac. She's a lot of money. It's very expensive to buy in the park. It
What's
was,
the
it was
retail?
500 in the park.
500.
Yeah, it's a high quality doll. It's a high quality doll. Like
Is it
when you
making
saw the
noises?
size of it, no, well, I better not.
Okay.
the I I'll tell you, I wish I had this on video. If I could do it over, I would have had someone video me walking out of the park carrying the life-size
Mm.
Annabelle doll. That was one of the most interesting walkthroughs of the park I've ever had. I think if it was in Halloween when they sell them, people would have been not, but thinking about it, but it's March, and I walked through the park
Mm.
with this incredibly large Annabelle doll, and everyone was very confused and concerned and had lots of questions.
Concerned. Like you stole it or something?
Well, everybody's don't open that box, don't open that box.
Oh, Annabelle.
um,
Woo!
but that was a lot of fun. Thank you to the park. That was great. I don't know who won the 8 o'clock show. I saw Brad said I hope wanted to win the eight. I didn't go back for the eight, but it was a lot of fun. I love it. Right now, it's just sitting here in the man cave. We'll see what I do with it long term. Um, the so
Fury's his
to
favorite ride, everybody. They keep
Yeah,
asking me what your favorite ride is. It's Fury. It'll
yes,
always be Fury as far as roller coasters go. Dark Ride is going to be Haunted Mansion, or it's going to be Monsters Unleashed at Epic.
yeah. It's thank you. God, I don't even have to answer anymore. Look at this one. This is great. Yeah, I don't love ranking rides, honestly. I don't have a top 10 or top 20 list. I just know the ones I love, right?
Mm,
And I can't answer the question. There's no way I could honestly answer this question to say, like, would Fury 325 be my favorite ride if it wasn't 20 minutes out my door, right? I
mm,
don't know
mm.
the answer to that, but I know right now Fury is 20 minutes from my house, and I love it and I ride it often. So, but there, Noah wants to know though, what's your favorite ride, right?
Ooh, that's so hard because you have to understand with me, I really like hybrids. So I'm going to scale points if it has any kind of dark ride element to it. So dark ride plus a coaster is my favorite,
Yeah,
but it changes. So it's a sliding scale. Let's say with Carowinds, what is my favorite ride? I've ridden a total of 3 rides at Carowinds. I
yeah,
rode that Snoopy ride. It's a
uh
little
huh.
family coaster. I rode the Boo Blasters, which is a dark ride, a shooting dark ride, and then Copperhead. Dude,
No,
Copperhead is
no,
definitely what?
4 rides.
4. What else do I ride?
Carousel. We rode the Grand Carousel
Oh, the
together.
carousel. Yes, we rode the carousel. That's right. Actually, it was a nice carousel too.
It's a
I
beautiful
like it.
carousel. Beautiful carousel.
Yeah. So I Copperhead Strike, dude. Copperhead Strike at Carowinds is awesome. I think
Yeah,
it's Steph and I have talked about it a lot since we left. And when we talk about a ride, because we do ride rides, like
yeah.
her favorite ride for the longest time was Hagrid's
It's a
motorbike.
great ride. It's a
So
great
we
ride.
used to have to do the rope drop strategy, the speed walk strategy, because
Yeah.
she likes to ride it more than once. So we would rope drop it and then immediately get back into line. So our first 2, 3 hours in Islands of Adventure was at Hagrid's. It's a great ride though,
Yeah.
so
And
it's,
I don't like to rank rides because like there's no comparison between Fury and we talked about Monsters Unleashed. Two totally
Yeah.
different rides. Even
Yeah.
Hagrid's, it's a totally different ride. So, but straight roller coaster, definitely Fury. I the comment in the section, have I written as many times as Daryl? There's a number of people at Carowinds. There's a McLean, the Fury guys wrote it 14,000
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
That's not me. I love the park.
Yeah.
I try to ride many rides in the park. Honestly, I'll probably only ride Fury once or twice each day that I'm there. I'm not a marathoner. Sometimes I'll do a couple here and there. I did two in a row earlier today, but I like the park. And while I like the rides, we already talked about Saturday. I enjoy walking around the park as much as I
Yeah.
do riding the rides. Like, I like just experiencing the park, talking to people. I tell people all the time when people say, "Hey, I saw you in the park, but I didn't want to come up to you." Please come up to me. That's why I'm there.
Mm.
Like, I want to talk
Yeah.
about the park. I want to talk about the rides.
Yep.
That's why I'm there. That's Saturday was awesome. We didn't ride very much
Yeah.
at all, but I had a
Two
blast.
rides.
It was a
Yeah.
ton of fun just walking around with
Yeah.
people that love the park and chatting about it and seeing things. Hey, did you guys see that change? Look at that. That's different. That's I'll never ever be someone that's just there to, hit one ride as many times as it can be. I want to ride everything and experience the entire park. Um,
Yeah.
we'll wrap up with what's
Okay.
next. Here's what I know is next. I got a secret project happening this week, which
Oh,
I
yeah, that's
will
right.
share some details.
Shh.
Yep. I'll share some details. Actually, I'll tell you what, in this live, when I'm ready, I will share the details in this live with you all first before I tell anyone else. I have a really fun project that's coming up. I'm going to be working on that this week and next week. In the meantime, Carowinds reopens on Friday. I
Mm.
will be back Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week. I have a ton of videos to post from Carowinds and from Creepy Hollow. Lynn Marie, thank you for the rose. Appreciate it. We So that's what's next. I don't have any other park on the agenda for at least the next couple weeks. Um, the so but got a lot of fun things going on, got some cool things happening. Working a lot with the park. You guys, if you didn't see it, Carowinds posted an interview that they did with me, just a quick little fun interview.
Mm-hmm. It's
That
awesome.
was Yeah, so that was fun. We got some fun things coming up. I think we're gonna have a special guest or two on this show in the next week or two from
Oh.
Carowinds. So that'll
Mm-hmm.
be a lot of fun. And guys, thanks so much for hanging out.
Yes.
The chat in our group is amazing. So if you are watching this on the recording, which I will post it later tonight on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, I would definitely want anyone who wasn't able to watch live still have a chance to watch it. But we're trying to do these on Sunday nights around the same time. If we change it, I
Yep.
always put the live out there. But it's fun. Join us live. Join us in the chat. It's a good time. I appreciate everyone that was in the chat tonight.
Yeah.
It was a blast.
People were talkative, man. People
Yeah,
had
that's
things to
it's
say
exciting.
tonight.
The season's here.
Yeah.
Season's here.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
I wish I had some fireworks.
Well,
I'm just
not
going to drink a lot
inside.
of Diet Cokes.
There you
Spin
go.
around.
Wow. All right, buddy. Any parting
All
words
right,
before
man.
we go? Anything else that you had to
I hope,
share?
yes, I hope everybody has world peace. And I also hope everybody goes and hits a roller coaster in the next week and
Man.
then comes back to the chat and tells us that they did something, they went and rode something. And
Yeah.
then we'll see everybody next Sunday.
Yeah,
I'll be
absolutely.
fresh from King's Dominion. I'm going to come
Yeah.
right back from King's Dominion, do the live next Sunday. So make sure you're watching because I will ride a ride that will
Oh,
terrify me next Sunday. I hope Michael, he won't be there, but maybe on the 28th, maybe we can convince him. Then I'll have to ride another ride that
love it.
terrifies me.
Love it. All right, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Hope everyone has a great night. I hope you get to a park sometime real soon. Take care, y'all.